What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new series called Dark Souls Lore. It's pretty self-explanatory where we're going to be exploring Dark Souls and Bloodborne, since they're made by the same people, lore. So, a few things before we start. I haven't played anything after Dark Souls 1, and I didn't even finish Dark Souls 1. And then Bloodborne was free on the PlayStation 4. So, just give me that. I've not played 2 or 3. 2, since I've never played these games, some of my information I'm hoping it is accurate. For the most part, I think it is accurate, and I'm having it cross-checked with someone who has played Dark Souls and is a die-hard Dark Souls fan. So there is that. Don't worry. And I do my research. I have been doing a lot of research. Now that goes into 3, the last point. There isn't a lot of topics. Not a lot of topics. There's not a lot of research actually done about specific things, and I had to do a lot of digging to actually find out what was going on. I had to do a lot of digging to find out about this topic that I'm covering today. So please bear with me. These are going to be a lot harder than the Elder Scrolls lore because they're not as explored as the Elder Scrolls is. So you know what? We'll just jump right into it. I hope you guys enjoy. Today we're going to be doing Knight Artorias and the Great Wolf Sif. So, Knight Artorias, or Artorias the Abyss Walker, is a boss in Dark Souls located in the Colosseum area of, correct me if I'm wrong, the Alisile Township. I want to say that's right, at the end of the Royal Wood. At the time the player encounters him, he is already corrupted by the Abyss. His armor and putrefied look give off an oozing dark aura. One of his arms is crippled because he used his shield to stop the Abyss from devouring his wolf companion Sif. He used a great sword that was also corrupted, but it was still extremely effective. Artorias would lose his sanity and roam untamed, occasionally howling under his helmet. Artorias is one of the 4 knights of the Lord Gwyn. He wears distinctive armor and a wolf ring. He carries his great sword and great shield. He carries a great shield and great sword as well. Artorias was a friend of Elvina of the Forest Covenant and Sif, the great Grey Wolf, who guards his grave and keeps the Covenant of Artorias in her possession. I spelled possession wrong in my notes. The knight hunted the Dark Wraiths, a group who seek to invade other worlds and steal humanity. He was able to traverse the Abyss with the power of his ring. His ring was made after a covenant was made with the beasts of the Abyss. It prevented him from being swallowed by the void, but also cursed his sword. In honor of his deeds, the knight was awarded one of Anor Londo's treasures, a silver pendant, which allowed him to repel dark sorceries. When Alisile became threatened by the Abyss, created by Manus, Artorias and Sif went to Alisile to save it and rescue the kidnapped Princess Dusk. However, they were overwhelmed, and Artorias used his cleansing great shield and himself to create a barrier around the young wolf. Artorias sacrificed himself and became corrupted and would eventually be laid to rest by the chosen undead. Alright, flip the page. His legacy as a hero lasted in time. By the time of Lothric, there was an undead legion of Farron, who was referred to commonly as the Abyss Watchers. They drank wolf blood, and it is said that their souls are bound together and are one with the Wolf Blood Master, aka Artorias. They use great swords modeled after his sword and have a unique fighting style. They fight a veritable war with the dark of the Abyss, just as their master had fought ages past. It is also hinted that Artorias and Lord's Blade, correct me if I'm wrong, Ciaran, we're going with it, were romantically involved. She is the only female that was among the 4 knights of Gwyn and appears after Artorias is defeated. She asks for the soul of Artorias and will reward the player with the gold tracer and the dark silver tracer if it is given to her. Now as for Sif was actually one of the first characters I found out about Dark Souls with my buddy, and it is heart-wrenching. Sif is a boss in the original Dark Souls as well, located behind the large glowing doors in Dark Fruit Garden. She is guarding Artorias' grave. The chosen undead will be led by Sif led to Sif by. Let me repeat that. The chosen undead will be led to Sif by Alvina in the chasm of the abyss. Sif is protected by a magical barrier, which was created by Artorias' great shield. Upon reaching Sif, she will vanish and leave behind the great shield. She can be summoned later on during the battle against Manus, the father of the abyss, after being rescued by the player. Now, if the player does rescue Sif, because you don't have to, in the Chasm of the Abyss, and I want to say it's DLC as well, so a different cutscene will play before the fight with her. She will recognize the player and approach them, and as the player reaches out to pet her, she will let out a whimper and pull away to grab Artorias' great shield. Afterwards, the fight will resume as normal. She is incredibly loyal to Artorias and fights the player because she does not want the player to desecrate her master's grave. Now, this is the very first topic I ever learned about in Dark Souls. My buddy mentioned it to me before I even got the game, and I gotta say, it fascinated me hearing about Artorias, because Dark Souls is an incredibly difficult game, and I didn't know that there was much lore about it until he told me about it. It's the same buddy who cross-checks for me, and I cross-check this information for me, and it is fascinating. And as I was looking up topics at like 5 in the morning, as you do, I was looking at topics of Dark Souls, and I found a lot of very interesting things about some topics that I wanted to do and definitely wanted to cover. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below, and please, if you have any hints and tips to help me with this, because I'm not as well in depth with the Dark Souls lore as I am with the Elder Scrolls, because I've played Oblivion, Skyrim, and the Elder Scrolls Online, and I love the Elder Scrolls, and there's a lot more access to Elder Scrolls information than there are to Dark Souls. You guys feel free to correct me in the comments below. Please don't be rude about it, but just feel free to let me know, like, hey, this and this is what you forgot, this is what you missed, and this is what you this is what you made a mistake on. I will gladly correct my mistake, and I'll work as hard as I can in the future. But yeah, if you have any topics, please tell me, let me know in the below. Researching this alone was awesome. I loved going into this kind of stuff because this is something brand new that I haven't done. And at the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys could be okay with me playing Bloodborne, because Bloodborne I have on my PS4 and I can play get footage on, so you can actually watch some sort of gameplay that isn't that's sort of related to the lore, sort of related to the game. So it's better than me playing, like, I don't know, The Witcher as I'm doing Dark Souls lore. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, please like and subscribe down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.